Hey everybody, Daryl Lucas here. Thought I'd come to you tonight with some thoughts on the Tucker Carlson fiasco, which has dominated the headlines the last few days. By now, unless you've been under a rock, you know that Carlson was fired from Fox News abruptly on Monday. No matter how much they may try to couch as a mutual parting of ways, it's pretty clear he was fired. All he got was a preemptory phone call from Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott, and his email was cut off. There's been a lot of speculation about why Fox pulled the trigger when it did. Just today, for instance, the New York Times reported that the number of Carlson's private texts that were leaked out as part of the Dominion lawsuit, who had a lot of people in the C-suite up on edge. But there's one factor that I think a lot of people are overlooking. The fact that for the better part of 2 years, Carlson has been part of the fever shop that's been slandering an innocent man for inciting January 6th. In case you missed it, on Sunday night, 60 Minutes profiled Ray Epps, a former Trump supporter who has been forced into hiding after they're being falsely accused of inciting a number of people in Washington for the Save America rally to go to the Capitol the following day when the Congress was due to count the electoral votes and thus rubber stamp Joe Biden's victory. But all available evidence suggests that Epps was actually trying to diffuse these tensions there. But quite a few people, as far up as Trump claimed that since he was one of the few people who had got past the barricades and wasn't arrested, is because he was an FBI plant. Carlson was among those leading those smears. As a result, Epps was forced to sell his business in Arizona and move to a remote location in the Rocky Mountains. His finances have been ruined, and he's lost a number of friends and family. Now last night I wrote an article on my new Substack, which I'll have linked up in the description, which argues that based on all that we know, it looks like that appearance on 60 Minutes was the straw that broke the camel's back. Think about it, folks. Carlson acted like he was going to be back on the air on Monday night when he signed off on Friday night. Moreover, Fox was running promos for Monday night show as late as Monday morning, and almost nobody on the on-air side knew what was going on when the news broke that Tucker was gone. I suspect, and there's a lot of circumstantial evidence to suggest that this is the case, is that Rupert Murdoch and the rest of the Fox News brain trust had already decided to fire Carlson on Friday night, but they wanted to wait and see just how bad the interview was going to be on 60 Minutes. Once the nation saw how much Carlson had played a role in ruining Epps' life, I suspect they decided Carlson had to go, and had to go right away. You have to remember, folks, based on what we've known has been reported over the last few years, Epps has a grounds for one whopper of a libel suit. Yes, it's been in the news for the past 2 years, but it's one thing to tell newspaper reporters about. It's another thing for people to actually see the suffering. And after what happened, I suspect the Murdochs figured they would have been suicidal, let this go to trial. So they figured probably best to cut their losses. And if they're in settlement talks right now, one would think that firing Carlson would be a demonstration of good faith. You have to remember, folks, Epps is a private person, and private people have a much lower bar to clear in order to win a libel suit. For those who don't know, while public figures and major corporations like Dominion and Smartmatic only have to prove actual malice. That is something was reported when it was known to be false, or they made no real effort to find out whether it was false or not. Private people like Epps only have to prove negligence, failure to exercise ordinary reasonable care. And Epps' ordeal over the last few years proves why that's the case. Unlike people like, say, Alex Jones or Jim Hoft, I figure the Murdochs are smart enough to know that you can't let a libel suit filed by a private person to go to trial. So that probably explains why Carlson didn't at least get time to hammer out the terms of his exit like Bill O'Reilly did in 2017. I could be wrong here, but the circumstantial evidence is pretty overwhelming from where I'm sitting. So take the time to read my piece on my new Substack, Loud Liberal Christian, and to see why. And if you like it and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. You'll get it. You'll get my post. It's in your inbox every time. If it's in your budget, feel free to support me with a paid subscription. It'd be much appreciated. That is all.